Today, I'm going to get you all on the beginnings course. So you'll get 2 emails. You'll get an email that will tell you that you've purchased the course for $0. And then you'll get an email saying set up your account with your password. And then you'll be able to log into the account. And what I'm hoping, because a lot of my clients haven't come off of, a lot of people that have purchased my course, they haven't come off of Substack. And what I've been trying to do is to get those people to come over here to Substack so that I can answer questions and, you can say, hey, I'm really stuck here or I need help. And we can do a live, just for the beginnings course questions. And if you're new and you don't know what's going on, because of what happened in Venezuela over the weekend, which seems like a year ago to me, does it seem like that to any of you? I mean, it literally was 4 days ago, and it feels like or 5 days ago, and it literally feels like it's been a year. I mean, and it's just because it's so traumatic, right? In the sense of activating our neurology to be in fight or flight. And so it makes everything feel like it's um a longer time span. And so anyway, what happened in Venezuela, the invasion and the capture of the president, which if you follow me, I'm totally against and I think is a rigged system because everything with pedophile Trump is a rigged game. Cool, Karen. You were supposed to DM me last week? Okay, explain that just a little more, Karen. Um, Diversion always. Yes, I know. I get diverted too. So, um, anyway, so because of what happened in Venezuela, I'm really pushing, we need to remove our dollars. Good morning, Sarah. And we need to remove our labor from this economy. I am not telling you to go in bankruptcy to remove your labor, okay? If you've got a job connected to insurance, I'm not telling you to quit that job. I think it's criminal that jobs are connected to insurance anyway. But what I am telling you to do is start now to build an income stream that you own that no one can take away from you and that is yours, right? And when you build an income stream that's yours, you are not adding to this corrupt economy. You're not adding to these corrupt corporations. Thank you, Gayla. And you're not, oh, okay. Yes, Karen, at the Johnstown Library. I'm sorry. It's like, it feels like that was a year ago. Again, um, I can't remember what we discussed either, Karen, but I'm glad you're here. Um, we'll figure it out. We'll trigger each other's memories. Um, so, back to what I was saying, um, when we remove our labor from this economy, this is what happens. We're putting the money back into community. We're putting the money back in the people's pockets. We're not lining the billionaires' pockets. We're not lining the corrupt corporations that are corrupt and lining their pockets. I mean, when we are working for someone else, we are always making them wealthy. And corporations are getting more and more corrupt because they can, because of everything that got destroyed in January under Doge for efficiency, which was all bullshit, of course, by Elon Musk, right? Because he wanted the companies that were investing, the organizations that were investing investigating his companies to be dismantled, which he immediately did, right? And because he's a Nazi, he wanted US aid disabled because of what they did to his family down in Africa. If you don't know any of that, go research it. It's out there. We can definitely have a more detailed conversation about it. I've posted a lot about this, but it was a year ago when I was really posting a lot about it. Absolutely Epstein, 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 Epstein. um, and Mar-a-Lago was also the hub for the trafficking of these children. And it wasn't just that Trump was raping these children, his fingers were deep in Epstein's organization where he was recruiting. He was part of it. And it's just fascinating that we have all this evidence that he's an insurrectionist from January 6th. We have all this evidence that he's a pedophile and he's not removed. And that was done by design with Elon Musk, who installed this Congress, this Republican Congress. The people didn't vote these Republicans in, and no one voted Trump in. I mean, yeah, there was like 30% that voted him in. I don't want to say no one. I'm sorry. That's an overstep. He didn't win the popular vote. Okay, hold on. Avery. Yeah, um, thank you for showing up from Canada. Um, I hope you know that the Canadian people are not supporting what's going on. I hope the Canadian people know that the American people are not supporting what's going on. This is a fascist regime. We are a captured state. Um, it's taking a lot. I mean, I can't believe the shit show that's had to happen to wake up the American public. Um, I don't have an answer for that. I honestly don't think we're on that step, right? I think that's the other thing we have to pull back and look at. What is the step that the American people are on where they have power to influence and do something? And we don't have power and influence to do anything with that. We can and we will, but that's not the step we're on, right? The step we're on right now is we need to um, collapse this government. We need to collapse this fascist regime. And Trump needs to be in jail. Elon Musk needs to be in jail. Keg's breath needs to be in jail. They need to be on trial for war crimes. I mean, really serious Nazi level bullshit needs to happen. And we're kind of clawing our way to that, right? And and a lot of people talk, okay, this is our French Revolution moment, right? And of course, I say that too. Um, but let's remember history that when the people stormed the palace and took out Marie Antoinette, right? And the king, they didn't behead them right there, right? Some people think that is what happened in history. That's not what happened, right? They okay. Yes, Avery. Yeah. Um, they were thrown into jail for between I think the king for 2 years, Marie Antoinette for 4 years, and then beheaded, right? So, we need to get them jailed before we can actually do anything, and they need to be put on international trial. And all their assets and all the money seized and given back. I'm doing a post soon here. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I agree with both Karen and I'm not sure, I haven't heard about that, Envision Truth. I haven't heard about that podcast. Um, trying to get all the sometimes okay, there we go. Um, yeah, South Africans are a big problem here in America. Yeah, it's not just Musk, but it's also Peter Thiel, David Sachs, yes. Um, Tech Bros. Yeah, it's the PayPal Mafia. I like calling them that. I haven't heard that before, but I'm gonna use that. Thank you, Karen. Um But, we've got to get the control back, right? And we have a complete, the Republicans support what's going on. It's the Republican ICE Gestapo, it's the Republican concentration camps. The Republican Party wants what's happening. And the Democrats are just ineffectual because they're not in power, but there's so much they could be doing. And I wrote several posts about this on Monday, where there's so much they can be doing. They could be holding a parallel Congress and showing what could be done if Democrats were in control. And just getting that information out there so that the truth is out there to counteract all the lies the Republicans post and talk about. But the Democrats are so ineffectual. Even the loud ones, right? They don't put their physical bodies on the line, and now is the time to be doing that, and they're not doing that. And Mark Kelly, I'm 100% behind him, and we can get behind him. He's actually doing some stuff that I think is more important than any of the others. But the Democrats still largely remain off topic, off subject, off message, and ineffectual. And then you've got the undercover Republicans that are Democrats. The worst are the two Democrat senators from Colorado, and Michael Bennet and Hickenlooper. They are terrible. They vote consistently in alignment with Trump and this fascist regime. They voted for many of this dumpster fire administration to be installed. And then they want to go out and say the opposite. They're kind of like the Jeffries, but you know how Jeffries, he wants to do all these great speeches and say all this stuff, and Corey wants to do that, but they're totally captured by AIPAC, right? And so they'll only do so much. And way to go, Sarah. I'm with you. Thank you. I do think energetically that needs to happen. I support that. Um, Karma, yeah, they're totally spineless. So what step are we on? Let's get back to that, because what step can the American people take? And two of those, thank you. Hugs to you too, Sarah. Please keep it up. Because I believe that power, that energetic, intentional power will spread. I'm very much in the camp of quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and that's a whole nother live, right? Um, yeah, Lori, I agree with that, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we'll have a fair election at midterms. We're seeing, Republican seats get turned over. We're seeing Republicans retire, leave their seats. There were just two, one left, one died, yesterday or Monday night. Um, I think right now that's, to get involved. I don't know. I don't know what can really be effectual for the American people to do at that point, except to call their Congress and letters and emails. I do internet faxing to these congressional offices. I mean, we need to keep, and basically what we need to do is keep intimidating our representatives, which is not how it's supposed to work. When we get on the other side, this is when we're going to have power and we can change this Congress setup. But right now, we have to intimidate Congress to let them know that the American people is bigger and we're louder and we're scarier than Trump is. And you better do what we're doing, or what you're going to have to deal with, you're not going to like. It's going to be worse than what you're dealing with Trump. And really, that's where we have to put the pressure on. Yeah, he's not joking. I mean, he's a psychopath. And so back to what step are we on? The step we're on is removing our dollars from this economy and removing our labor from this economy. And I want to talk about that as the two-pronged approach, that we have to do. We have to do. Because right now they're sending billions over to Venezuela, to redo their oil infrastructure. This is all bullshit, right? They remove the money from SNAP and some money from Social Security in order to send 40 billion to Argentina. We're continually sending between $1 and $3 million to Israel every day. Okay, that's not government money. And Republicans and this fascist regime keep saying, oh, well, that's government. No, it's not. Government money is our money. That's our money. And we have a say so in it. And what they're doing is that they're saying, oh, we're going to send all of this government money over here, and then you guys don't get anything, right? You don't get health care. Your health care premiums go up. You're going to have tariffs. These tariffs are ridiculous. They need to be removed right now. Republicans had a chance to do that in the summer, and they refused because the Republicans are co-conspirator to co-conspirators. I'm not saying that right. That sounds weird. They're in league with Trump. They want this, right? They want to take the money. They want to give it to whatever these things they're doing outside the country. And they want to remove all the safety nets. They want to remove all the resources. There's no reason we don't have all those conspirators. Thank you, Karma. There's no reason we don't have our resources. Just right there, we have billions. We're not in poverty here in America. These programs are not in poverty. It's this fascist regime that's saying, oh yeah, it's in poverty. The Republicans are saying, oh yeah, we don't have money for this. That's because they're sending it all out of country. And that has to stop. And how does that stop? Our power is with the money because we are the breadwinners for the government. So what do? We withdraw our money, just like you do with a teenager who refuses to get a job. You say, nope, until you get a job, we're not paying for anything because you're going to do you're going to be a part of what we're doing. And so we remove our money. We remove our money. How do we do that? We have to remove our labor and we have to remove our dollars. Okay, so removing our dollars is easier for most people. And removing our dollars, a lot of people are doing this. It just more needs to happen. We saw in Christmas time, people are still locked into commercialism, of course, and convenience. We needed a blackout for the holidays and it didn't happen. And why didn't it happen? I mean, a little bit, but not very much. Not where we needed it. And that's because the American people are still I don't want to give up my comfort. I don't want to give up my convenience. Well, you're giving up your freedoms for both of those. And a lot of people are starting to wake up and realize that. So what do? We stop buying stuff, right? We cut all our streaming services. I do have Netflix. And right now I'm still watching Netflix. I'm only on a month-to-month with them. I mean, I'll cut them off if I see any stuff, but they did give to Palestine. They did give to California. And that's when I started the subscription back up, but I have no other subscriptions. You've got to stop buying from Amazon. We have to freeze them out. You've got to stop buying the Starbucks from big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. Of course, we're boycotting Target. That's probably the most out there. We need to drive these companies into bankruptcy. They need us. We don't need them. And here's the thing, people. The junk they're selling is junk. It is all designed, including Apple. It's all designed to break. It's not designed to last. And they are laughing at us all the way to the bank. That Starbucks CEO, he got paid $11 million last year, and he refuses to pay a living wage to his employees. He makes them buy their uniforms, and he had them arrested at the main Starbucks hub, the protesters. The employees went on strike, and he had them arrested. He made $11 million last year. And because he doesn't want to live in Seattle for his job, part of his contract is he has a private jet that flies him to Seattle 3 days a week to do his job. Oh, but the employees, They have to pay for their own outfits. This is the corruption. This is the corruption. So we remove our money, our dollars. So what does that look like? Start making mixes. I'm getting ready to post on the paid side of Substack, so you'll be able to download it under the download tab. 20 easy mixes to start off making. Bisquick, cocoa powder, um, and the list goes on. Right now I'm blanking, but I have 20 very easy. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any kind of, you just need a jar and the supplies. And the supplies are cheaper than the actual product that you would go buy. So it's cheaper to make your own Bisquick than to buy it. And it doesn't have all these other ingredients in it. That's another thing because our economy is captured by monopolies. We have like 2 or 3 conglomerates, Clorox, Unilever, and there's 2 others, and I can't quite remember them. But they control our whole food chain. And if you look at any products that they make here and in Europe, it's full of chemicals here and it's not in Europe. So it doesn't have to be full of chemicals here. And they do that on purpose, right? Because the American people don't care. They have not cared. They're starting to care. Okay, I'm behind on comments, so I will get there, but let me finish what I'm saying. So how do you do that, right? These corporations have launched media campaigns to make you believe in all kinds of different ways, including through influencers, that it's more expensive to buy from farmers markets, from local butchers, from local bakeries. It's more expensive than if you just go to the big box and buy. That actually isn't true. Um, I have seen that it is a little more expensive sometimes, but when I say a little more, I'm saying like 50 cents. I'm not saying like dollars. And at this point, with these tariffs, which are so angering, it gets me so angry that there's still these tariffs on the American people. And they're ridiculous. They're bullshit. They're making Trump's family and his billionaire friends rich, and they're ridiculous. But, and that's the only reason, right? That's the only reason these tariffs are still there because the Republicans are getting rich from it. And that's why they didn't want to reverse them in last summer when they had the opportunity to do that. Congress is completely ineffectual and captured. They have the power to do stuff, but they refuse to do it. And then, of course, the Supreme Court is completely captured. And so that's why these executive orders executive orders mean nothing. But because of the way the Supreme Court has given them power, that's the only reason they can exist. And it's ridiculous because it completely bypasses the American people. And that is why we have to take control of the money. And we have to stop lining these billionaire pockets. So you stop buying all their junk, right? Just buy necessities and then start buying from small businesses. Go to your local butcher, go to your local dairy, go to your local bakery. The thing about it's not convenient, right? You have to pad in extra time. You have to schedule. You have to make list. You can't do it online. Most of any small business like this, like a local butcher, a local bakery, a local dairy where you can get your cheese and you can get your milk and it's healthy and it doesn't have all this shit in it. You can't order it online. You can't just do it from your couch. We actually have to get up, get in the car, get dressed, get in the car and go there. And that's inconvenient for most people. And I think a lot of Americans are starting waking up. They've got to trade their convenience for inconvenience so that they can take back this government, this United States. I don't know if that it's really correct to say take back the government, but we get back in control of America. Okay, so that's one half of it, right? And people are starting waking up that the other half is we have to remove our labor. Now, how do we remove our labor? Right? That's the tricky piece for a lot of people because the billionaires for the last 20 years, and I've witnessed this and I'm like, this is crap. And every time I've talked about it prior to last year, people would come at me and they would just rip me up because they believed hook, line, and sinker what the oligarchs and the billionaires have been spoon feeding the American public to believe. Owning your own business is too risky. You have to have a trust fund. You have to have a lawyer on staff and a tax accountant on staff. You have to have all this set up before you start, or you're going to get in trouble. Uh, yeah, you'll fail because most businesses fail. Oh, yeah, everything online's that's a racket. Oh, that's a scam. You can't do that. That has been what the billionaires have sold the American public, and the American public has drank that Kool-Aid. And here we are. Forbes, for the last 10 years, has been reporting, hey, people need to get into digital marketing. It's a growth industry. It's not affected by tariffs. It's not affected by government regimes. And digital marketing is not affected by recession. What? Yeah. Do you hear that? It's not affected by any of that. And digital marketing, you're globally putting yourself out there, not local to your state, not local to your city, to your state, or to America. So you control that income stream. People get freaked out by the words digital marketing, right? That's a big umbrella. Here's what it comes down to remove your labor. I'm not telling you to go into bankruptcy, not pay your debts. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. If you're out of a job, what you need to do is you need to go and on YouTube, you can find where people are telling you, here, these are the jobs you can go apply to. They're all online. Just get an online job, right? That just pays the bills. So you can pay the bills, you can have food, and an expense fund, but you're not like locked in um, where you can't leave it, right? It's just a temporary position. And you start building your online income, right? You do it in parallel. Your online income eventually will eclipse this temporary job and you quit it, right? And what does that all mean, right? Well, what that means is that you're monetizing your skill set and you're getting into affiliate marketing. People are scared of affiliate marketing because the billionaires have told you it's a scam, and it's not, right? You have to do research around that. But you first start with monetizing your income. Monetizing your skill set, your knowledge, monetizing what you're interested in, right? This is easy. This is not hard. It takes work and it is a business, so you have to apply yourself. You cannot work 2 hours a week and make it happen. You will not work 2 hours a week and make $10,000 a month. There are so many people out there saying that, and see, that right there, they're influencers. Billionaires hire them to say the lie, and then you believe that lie. I'm trying to dispel that lie. And I'm a product of the product. Okay. So what you do is that you've got to get the knowledge. You've got to take a course, and you can figure all of this out on your own using YouTube and Google. I'm not telling you not to do that, but here's the reason why I'm telling you not to do that at the same time. When you want to go to the store, you get in your car and you drive to the store because it's efficient. You don't walk to the store here in America. Unfortunately, walking is not typical to any store. Like, I can't walk to any store where I live. I get in my car and drive. It would take me literally all day, walk to the store, do the shopping, and then to haul that all back home. That's inefficient. That it's the same thing. buying a course and getting that knowledge, because that's what you have to have first, is getting in your car and driving to the grocery store. It's the most efficient way. And online courses, I use online courses all the time. I have a degree in computer information system, a double degree, and business administration, and I take courses all the time to learn stuff. I wanted to get really good at Asana, which is a project management tool. I bought a course and I learned how to do it. I did not go to college to learn project management. I took a course to learn how to do it from someone who had already done it and was passionate about it and made a course, who is an online creator who monetized her skill set and her knowledge. I bought the Asana course and I learned Asana. And then she does like what I'm doing. She keeps, she keeps going with information and she shows up. I bought that course 6 years from her and she continues to do updates. She does video lives. She's still present. She answers my questions when I get hung up on something or I forget something. Do you see that? That's what we're talking about. Okay. So I lost my business. I had a social media marketing business that was a boutique, meaning I only did like 5 or 6 clients, but I did everything: their website design, production, and then I managed their website, all their email marketing, and I did all their social media. Um, I was in a natural disaster and called the Marshall Wildfire, and it destroyed my home and my business. For 2 years, I was a deer in headlights. But like at the end of 2023, I started taking a bunch of courses and I pivoted and I was going to do digital marketing because all the research showed, even at that time, because Forbes has been kind of yelling at the top of their lungs, that's what you have to do to make it. Sorry, I think that, can you hear me? Okay. That's what you have to do to make it in this world right now in this economy. And, so I took a course, I took several courses and I learned a bunch and I'm also a tapping and EFT specialist since 2001, so quite a long while. So I first started my tapping lab and then I decided to start Be Your Worth. And that's where I have a course called The Beginnings that I sell to help people start their business, their online business. Now, what's different about what I sell than what I experienced when I was purchasing courses is that in this genre, right? First of all, I don't do any upsells. When I haven't done any upgrades yet to the course, but as I do upgrades, which I will do, I will not be charging for those. You buy it once, you pay one fee, and that's it. That's what I believe in. So back to what I was saying earlier, at the beginning of this, was that because of what happened in Venezuela, and there's so many people that are scared. And I just had 4 friends who basically were laid off from 30-year corporate tech jobs in December and are freaking out. So I decided this week I would offer the beginnings course when you sign up for my paid side of Substack. And so several people have signed up for that yesterday, and the people that sign up for today, I'm gonna send it all out this afternoon. Because yesterday I couldn't get to it to do it, and then I'm here for you, right? I'm here to help you. And so what makes my course different is that it takes the technical guessing out of all of this, right? I have a bridge that on all my videos where I hand hold you so you can go through the course and stop and build your business, right? In unison to taking the course. That's what I like. So that's how I designed it. There's over 200 hours of video. Okay. And I teach you how to do your email marketing. I high level teach you social media because so much is changing. And so I'm going to be adding more social media modules, but I teach you a base. I teach you how to set up your digital product business where it actually works, the foundation pieces. And you don't need to know technical experience. I walk you all through that. I teach you how to be in compliance with the FCC because we still need to do that even with this whole crapshoot government. I teach you, you're gonna do how to monetize your skill set, right? How do you make something? How do you take that knowledge and put it into something you can sell? How do you take what you know and put it into a course? And I teach you how to do all of that on a platform called School. And, um, and then I teach you how to use StanStore or System.io, which I think are the two best in the industry right now for your monetization. And I don't leave gaps, right? I teach you how to upload your stuff. I teach it all. It's 20 modules, and then each modules has between 1 to 25 lessons in each module with over 200 hours of video. And it's yours for life, right? I might move platforms one day, but you're not going to lose it. You'll just go to that platform, right? And I'm always gonna be doing upgrades on it, right? I I'll be doing an upgrade sometime in the next, semester here or quarter, not semester, next quarter, with social media. I don't know what's gonna fall out with Larry Ellison owning TikTok and with the fall of this fascist regime that's coming. I just don't know. So, this week only till Friday, you can purchase my paid side of Substack, which is $40. And that comes out to basically you're paying me $3.33 a month to do everything I do and to post and to put things on the paid side of Substack. And you will also get for free the beginnings course. And I'm doing this because I really want to help, right? And I really want to help you get removed, your labor removed from this economy. Selfishly, I'm doing it because I want more and more people to step up and take control of the economy in this America right now. And we can't do it. We cannot do it until people take control, remove their labor, and remove their dollars. Okay, so I am going to try to get. Okay, so Karen is saying I'm frozen. Oh, am I frozen? I don't know. Um, yeah, they do keep track of that. Oh, Karen, you're answering. Thank you. You're answering for Anne. Thank you so much. I'm going back through these here. Um, yeah, and I also want to say it does have a big impact. Mm. I really like my representative um in the House for Colorado. His name is Joe Nagass. I think I'm saying his last name right. Um, and he has done videos where he has said it makes a difference calling, sending letters, sending postcards, doing the faxing, doing the emails. It makes a difference. Flooding Congress makes a difference with that. Um, it can't be the only thing, but it is making a difference. If it's the only thing you can do, because there's a lot of people that are, you know, stuck at home for medical reasons or for whatever, you can be doing those things to help. Um, Not everybody can do everything, right? But all of us that are working, we can remove our dollars and we can definitely remove our labor. Um, yeah, okay. So I love how you guys are answering each other. Thank you, Karma. Thank you, Karen. But okay, so Karma, you live in a deep red state. Yeah, I think it gets harder when you're in a deep red state, right? And here's the thing too with the red states. I think most states, I'm not saying all of them, but there are states that are red because of gerrymandering. And you guys need to rise up, right? And you need to get louder, which you are. So now if you're in this deep red state and you only have a Walmart, right? Which unfortunately, a lot of like that because Walmart has come in and squashed the small business and nobody cared. right? Because they wanted the convenience. Um, Hopefully people are waking up to that because the Walmart needs to go away as well, unfortunately. Um, these big box stores where you go and you can buy tires and milk need to go away because they crush the American people. Um, you can micro boycott in a Walmart, and so you can there's a lot of products you don't buy that supports Trump, and there's a lot of products on their shelves that support the Democratic Party. So it's you have to micro boycott. All my blue dots in deep red states, that's your path as far as removing your dollars is micro boycotting, because your choices may be really limited. And so micro boycott. If you have to go to Home Depot, for example, which is an ICE, Republican ICE Gestapo hub, what do? You can go in there, but micro boycott, right? Because you don't have another choice, right? So, we're doing this within reason, right? I am in Colorado. I'm in a deep blue state. I have a ton of choice. I moved here very intentionally because it is a blue state. I moved from Missouri, a deep red, white supremacist, white Christian national state. When I had my children 20 years ago, I said, no, I'm not going to stay here and moved to Colorado. Colorado's got a lot of problems too. So I don't want to say, oh, they're so kumbaya and so great. So, because that's not the truth. Like I just got done telling you, the two senators that are probably the worst undercover, the two Democrat senators who are the worst, I mean, the worst undercover Republicans are Colorado's Senator Hickenlooper and Senator Michael Bennet. Terrible. And I can't say I'm really impressed with our Democratic governor, Jared Polis. He's been pretty weak. He was like all talk in 2024, but when the rubber needed to meet the road, he was pretty non-visible. And he has not supported other blues governors. I've been very disappointed in him. So we have problems, but I have a lot of choices. And there's a lot of Democratic choices here and a lot of blue. Um, and Karma, I know even in deep red states, you can find butchers and farms. Go to the local farms and go to the local dairies. When the whole SNAP thing happened, there were like 3 or 4 local butcher shops that I didn't even know about that came out and just gave meat to any SNAP recipient and touched my heart. And I was like, that's who I'm supporting. That's where I'm going to go buy my beef and and my poultry. Now, financially, I'm not eating a lot of that. So it's like I'm also having to do that in stages, right? So it's not like don't go financially in the hole. Don't cut your nose off to spite your face. There's places where you can do it and places where you can't. And then you just gradually move in that direction. It's intention of doing it, right? I don't mean like intention, I'm never going to do it. I'm just going to pretend and I'm not talking about that either. I'm meaning that do it where you can do it and then move forward financially and doing that better. Yeah, like I'm not dependent on Amazon anymore. I would say 3 years ago I was, and I cut that cord. And I believe a lot of people are cutting that cord. One of the easiest ways besides, not subscribing, I mean, Prime is a scam and just so cut Prime and then don't order from Amazon. I do research on Rand. I keep the app and I keep my account. I go do research on the products I want and then I go find that business and order from them directly. That's an easy way to use Amazon. The other thing is that these creators that keep promoting Amazon products, get on YouTube and tell them to stop and block them and, talk about these creators. Um, The other thing that you should be aware about Amazon, what they've started doing just recently, is they're going and scraping, digitally small businesses and putting them on their store, on the Amazon storefront without their permission and selling their product. Well, yeah, that sounds great because that drives traffic to the small business, but here's the problem. First of all, it drives a lot of traffic that they're not yet set up for because as a small business, you grow, right, with your traffic. So that could actually hurt them, and it is hurting some of them. But then when they hire more people and they start, like, fulfilling the orders, now Amazon is finding other companies that can do that same product, and then they remove you. And so now you're all these people you hired, you can't pay. It's terrible. It's terrible what they're doing. That's why don't order it off of Amazon. Go find what you want, find that local business or find that business, and then go order for them directly. Um, the other thing too, like one creator was talking about how they have a local bee place, a bee honey, something they do with honey, not just honey, but like they do products around honey, and Amazon scraped them and put them on their site. Well, they also give back to, the horticulture that is supporting bee colonization. Well, that's all removed from what Amazon does, what puts out there. And, um, part of her business is to bring awareness to the decline in the bees, in different regions and how that in fact impacts our health. And that's also not part of what Amazon puts on there. So it's all very, very, I mean, I'm pissed about it. Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, tariffs do, Karen. Tariffs make the rich richer. When the Republicans refused to remove all tariffs, which they had the chance to do in June of last year, that was the signpost that the Republican Party 100% were not for the American people. Now, you need to know history. Okay, I think most of the comments have been, answered. But you need to know history because 100 years ago, we were captured by billionaires and sent us into the Great Depression. And then FDR came in and built an amazing economy by taxing the billionaires out of existence and running the government like a nonprofit, right? And the Republicans were then, handcuffed in power because the American people were completely against the Republican Party until 1975. And that's when Reagan came on the scene as well. And it was a whole grift, and and that's when Joe Coors, Golden, Colorado. I'm so surprised Golden has not tried to separate from this, but they haven't. And so I refuse to do anything in Golden, Colorado. I refuse to buy anything from Golden, Colorado. But that's the foundation of Heritage Foundation. Joe Coors started it in 1975 because he wanted to promote the Republican Party and get it out of, the American jail that they had put the Republican Party in. That's where the Republican Party needs to go again. Um, However, because the Republican Party is always, 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 always been a group of conservatives that are all for privatization, which we know is a chop shop for anything they purchase, for corporations, for oligarchs, and they do not care about the American people. They're the ones who want to humiliate anybody who's having a hard time instead of lifting them up. Okay, Karma, I'm reading what you just wrote. Yeah. You guys should really start, a parallel income. Um, I have never been to the Catskills or the Arondinak. I always say that wrong too. Ara, ara, okay, I'm not gonna say it. But I do want to go, and I plan on going in the next few years. I don't know why that word has always been like a tongue tie for me. Um, okay, so it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna jump off of here. Um, if I have time, I'm gonna try to come on tonight. Um, I really would like to do. Oh, thank you, Lori. Adirondacks. Adirondacks. Am I saying that right? Boy, it like my tongue feels like it becomes a knot every time I say that word. It's always been that way. Adirondacks. Um, yeah, and Reagan's bullshit, right? Reagan was all bullshit. Oh, thank you, Lori. Um, I do want to come on and do some EFT. I probably am not going to do that till tomorrow, but I do want to touch base tonight. I think it's really important with everything that's going on that like all the comments, all the answering, all the talking in between everybody here on this live. This is so important. This is what creates community. And we Mrs. Hughes, I'm going to get to you like probably closer to like 12:30. You're on my list. I saw you. Um and yesterday I knew I wasn't going to be able to do any of the fulfilling of the orders, but I'm going to get that all done today. And then anything else that you need, any other questions, I'll be available for as well. So just know that's going to happen today. Um, and then, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So just as a reminder for anybody, just go look at my profile here on Substack. If you join my paid side of Substack, which is $40, you'll get my course, the beginnings course for free. And, and then that's a manual. I have to manually add you because it's a free, it's not automatic, like it is when you pay for it. So that's why there's a little bit of a like 24-hour lag, because I just manually have to do it. So don't get scared, that it's not going to happen if it's not like immediate, like a normal digital download is. If you went and purchased my course off my link on Stan Store, it's an immediate immediate access, but that's because I've got that all automated. So don't be afraid. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. Um, and we'll get you taken care of. I'll get you taken care of. And I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. And also there's several people that have posted some stuff on my chat side, and I'm going to be responding to those as well today. Um, and I just love this. I just love this. We're creating community. We're doing it. This is where the rubber meets the road. And I'm so excited. Um, I'm selfishly excited for me because this is what I've been craving, right? I've been craving this kind of connection online, and I've not really been able to create that until now. And thank you. Thank you for showing up and making this possible. All right. I'll see you for sure tomorrow online on a live, but I am going to try to do tonight, timing wise. Karen, thank you so much. And I love everything you say. I hope you keep showing up. Yes, bye everyone. Lori saying bye. Sarah saying bye. Yes, Sarah, thank you too. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Mm. Thank you, Karma. Misuse. We're here. We're doing it. This is it. Feel really good about that and take that through your day that you're making a difference. Okay. I will see you soon.